Hola, 'tis I, Alicia, and I hope you're doing good. I hope it's all good as it can go. Yeah, it's 2022. We're still, yeah. All right, so what I'm going to look into today is, let's just see what's up with Mother Shipton. This could be the shortest reading ever. I don't have a lot of questions about her. I've never heard of her. One of you lovelies, you know who you are. You sent in this message, this request for this video. So I'm going to read you what I found about her, and we'll just look into her and see what's up. I don't know. Maybe she's legit. I don't know. Maybe she's just made up. Who knows? So, it says, Mother Shipton is England's most famous prophetess. She foretold the fates of several rulers within and just after her lifetime, as well as the invention of iron ships, the Great Fire of London in 1666, and the defeat of the Spanish Armada. It is generally acknowledged that Mother Shipton was largely a myth, and that many of her prophecies were composed by others after her passing. And after the events that she had supposedly predicted. Her prophecies, we're going to say prophecies because who knows now, were apparently recorded in a series of diaries, but the first published book of her work did not appear until 1641. A most noted work by Richard Head came out in 1684. Head later admitted to inventing almost all of Shipton's biographical details. As well as making traditional remedies, Mother Shipton had another gift. She could predict the future. It started off with the small premonitions, but as she practiced, she became more confident and her powers grew. Soon she was known as Nesbo's prophetess, a witch. She made her living telling the future and warning those who was asked of what was to come. After a long life, she died in 1561 at age 73. One of the mystical secrets of Mother Shipton has been solved by modern science. The well nearby her dwelling that petrifies objects left in its waters has been something of a visitor's attraction since 1630, making it one of the oldest tourist spots in England. So people go there to this like cave-looking like thing, and I guess the people who own this piece of land now with this thing, they'll hang up teddy bears and other objects, and then over time then the minerals come down and encase the objects, so then they look like they're turned to stone. Okay. So it's known that the water can turn things like teddy bears, hats, and other random items into stone within 3 to 5 months due to the natural process of evaporation and unusually high mineral content. So think about like I always confuse these stalactites or stalagmites, one or the other, where they come down and they're drip, 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 same idea. So that's what's going on there. So it's not like she has some magical cave where she's in there and she's like, I shall turn you to stone. Rawr! I'm pretty sure that that's like one of those things. God, is that from Land of the Lost? I don't know. There was like a Medusa head and she was turned to stone. That was like my favorite episode in my memories. Don't rewatch Land of the Lost. Your memories will be tarnished and you'll have sad times afterwards. Anyhow, I want to see what we can find out about Mother Shipton. Alright, I want to start first with let's look into just general general info about Mother Shipton. I'm using a Major Arcana deck. I only have one Major Arcana deck. I could, I guess, pare down another deck, but I'm not going to. I have another one on the way, but in the meantime, we're going to use this one. This is like Terror Tales or something like that. I can't remember. But I want to just do a general Mother Shipton. Okay, Mother Shipton. Oh, my. Well, Mother Shipton, what the hell are you playing with? Oh my god, Mother Shipton. Oh, shit, I'd stay away from her. Eek. Alright, I'm also gonna pull out some few extra cards to give us a little more information on some of these cards here. Wow. Interesting. Time for a little crystal chit chat. All right, so what do we have here? Jet. Jet is super light. So if you're ever confused and you're like, I don't know, do I have jet? Do I have black tourmaline? Do I have onyx? Do I have something? What do I have? Jet is super light, okay? So just so you know that, it is light. Almost light as a feather. But it's also a stone of protection and one that absorbs negative energy that is sent your way. So in case you happen to interact with a Mother Shipton type person wanting to put a curse on you, this will help to deflect it and protect you from any psychic attacks or bad energy or just nasty a-holes that may come around your way or happen to be in your family. So it's good to have by your side, also to dissipate any feelings of sadness, depression, grief, and loss. So this is Jet, and if you want to get you some, come on over to aliciawicker.com and you can find it there. She is, I think there's something to her. I don't know that she's all good in the hood. I don't know. Let's see. One more. Oh, shit. All right. Interesting. All right, so this Mother Shipton, I'm going to say there's what we can know about this character. That's what I'm going to call her. I think she might have been like an actual human entity, human, I don't know, in bed with the El Diablo a little bit there. Whatever this thing, lady, witch, whatever we're going to call her, with Mother Shipton, at some point this is how I'm going to say it, literally, she made a deal with the devil, and it feels like, looking at some of these other cards I'm seeing here, I think she made a deal with the devil because I think it's almost like she might have had a couple hits doing her prophecy or spells or potions or whatever the heck she was doing. She had a couple hits doing it, but then I think she was like finding out that she wasn't quite as magical as she thought she was. I don't know. There's something to it where she just wasn't like a broken clock is right twice, that kind of energy. So she was looking to make a deal with El Diablo to get herself out of rough water. So she might have been conjuring, doing some shady type of rituals with El Diablo, but we have a sneaky snacker. If you're new, we have to pay the sneaky snacker tax every time the sneaky snacker comes up. When we get to the end of the year, we're going to donate the money to some non-shady ass people. So it looks like she made a deal with the devil because at some point she realized that she's going to be perhaps exposed as a fraud. Allegedly for entertainment purposes. She's been dead for however many hundreds of years. But I'm not crossing her. I don't care if she's muerto. All right. In her major past struggle here, I think is that there's heartbreak because she was starting to get celebrated in the town and then it got exposed. So that was her heartbreak. That's why she's doing the deal with the devil, because, oh shit, they're starting to find out I'm not as high of a priestess or whatever the heck she was. She's just not that thing. So she was very much, she liked, at the end of her life, she was trying to solidify herself as an official seer, priestess, witch lady, whatever, prophetess, whatever you want to call her. But it feels like she was making up shit. So, trying to hold on to her officialdom in the neighborhood. That's how I'm going to say. Um, her concern was trying to balance. Like, her back was up against the wall. I think this is why she was doing her deal with El Diablo here. Her back was up against the wall. The truth was getting out. She's trying to, in a way, figure out how she could keep her business going when there wasn't true results. This feels very much like if she was making concoctions. I think that's what this said somewhere here in this thing I read you, and I can't find it. I think if she was trying to make concoctions for people or something, or she was giving them prophecies or whatnot, she may have also said at the same time, like, well, but if you don't believe in it, and you also have 3 pennies in your house hiding, then things will not come true. Like hedging her bets in a way. I mean, there is something to intent with everything, but this felt like shady intent. That's how I'm going to say it. The emotional undercurrent, she just loved being the star. She loved being the star. There's our star card. She loved being out there in the open. People would come to her. Almost kind of looks like a little cave, huh? With her little, if you go to look it up, what her cave is looking like and how all the stuff comes down and makes things turn to stone. She liked being that role. I wonder, this guy, I think maybe there was a guy before him. It looks like she did tap someone to help spread her legend far and wide. Spread the legend of me. Feels like that. I don't know if it's this Richard Head guy. Because it says she died in 5061, so it can't be Richard Head. There was somebody else, though. Some other person who was kind of like her PR person, trying to also spread her information far and wide, trying to get more people in there. It feels like she's a kind of a cold bitch. I'm not going to say she was just some wonderful, loving, caring person, but again, what I'm saying is we had to deal with El Diablo. She's a cold bitch. She's some kind of like delusion of thinking she can pull like a rabbit out of her hat. At least turn it to stone in her cave. Here's her unspoken fear is that she gets exposed. Like I said, in the old days, she must have had a couple good hits, like for people to say, no, I'm telling you, she's like legit, and they were like, oh, okay, great, and she was making money, but the fear was she's not going to be able to be consistent enough that people are going to do this. I think there was like early on success with her getting some stuff right, and then not so good. All right, so her obsession was keeping her power, her adulation, her standing in the community. Because she saw shit coming down, people were starting to talk, and I think that's where she made her deal with El Diablo, because this was going to end. This feels like ending her money-making endeavors. She also, I don't know if the time, I would have to assume, I don't know at the time, she was trying to also evade justice. I don't know if if this is the same time frame, there may have been witch hunts over there. Trying to avoid justice, trying to dance the fine line with essentially kind of like conning people, but at the same time trying to not do that and trying to dance around being called out by the authorities for whatever shit she is trying to do that didn't seem to be very good. I think too, I think she was part of this was this deal with the devil in terms of like doing some extra rituals that perhaps were working. They were working, but not good. It's almost like I feel it like she did other stuff to people and it actually worked, and it might have been like used for her own benefit. Ugh. So here's her biggest obstacle was being the high priestess. I don't think she had the abilities that she thought she had. She was found out rather quickly, I believe, and she wanted to continue making her money that way. It was probably easy for her, and she couldn't do it. So I think it's like there feels like there might have been that period of reinvention. So it's like, oh, here she is. Oh, look, yeah, everyone thinks she's like legit. And then they find out like, oh, she's like wrong. She's wrong. She's wrong. And so everybody's like, she sucks. And then there's this period of reinvention where she hooks up with El Diablo and she then comes back out. And I think there's some, with this guy, there's some PR campaign, maybe sideshow bullshit, trying to bring back her brand. And so the brand seems to have continued to live all these years later, hundreds of years later. But I'm going to say I think she wasn't legit. She just happened to get some people under her spell to continue and all of that stuff. Anyway, well, that was interesting. All right, so if you've ever been to Mother Shipton's little castle, well, it's not a castle, a little cave, tell me. I'm curious. What do you think about it? It looks like a cool place to go. I'm not totally buying into her magic, but, you know, if you do, enjoy it. Maybe it's just a fun myth to have to think about. Anyway, with that, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you haven't already. Join me in the Moon Moth Manor if you want to get some extra videos I can't share here. And I will see you next time. Adios.